Hello there. Well, I'm going to make a video to talk about something that's going on, intermittent. It's hard to start this one. Because I think it's hard because I don't even want to make this video because I know what's going to happen. I'll make this video and people are going to offer their suggestions towards resolution, and that touches on a weakness in me. I don't think I've ever talked about this, although it's implicit in the types of videos that I make, especially over on the LylesBrother channel. Here, I'll explain the weakness, and then I'll explain why I started the video. And this will couch by explaining the weakness. It'll give some context to why this is a hard video for me to make. I don't like help. I don't like being helped, and I don't mind advice so much, but I just don't want help. And I call that a weakness because it's a failing in so far as being a part of the connected social fabric where human beings interact and assist each one another with advice, material goods, sharing of resources, things like that. Oh, green light. And I don't participate well in that. Although I try to give my part, although it keeps me from offering help too, because I don't like getting help. I'm sometimes a little reluctant to give it. Perhaps it's to a fault. Maybe I don't give it enough because of that. And partially because the way I feel so awkward receiving help, I worry that other people, I don't really consciously think about it. I just don't give it out. This is something I gotta, this is just, I recognize this as a fault. And it's something that heretofore I haven't really dealt with much, but maybe this is time for me to start dealing with it. It's not the point of the video. But, okay, so let me get on with the point of the video, which is talking about anxiety, and I'm tempted to use the word panic, although I'm no psychologist or psychiatrist. I don't know the link. All I know is that there's the word panic attack, and I'm tempted to use that word to describe that. But I wanted to tell you guys and really record it for the most part. Remember, this goes onto that playlist, the Return to USA playlist, where I'm sure I'm being long-winded and getting to the point, where I'm recording this process really for the sake of my daughter and family, so that they'll have a record of this. So let me go ahead and get it out. 3 times since I've made the decision to accept this job, 3 times since then, I've had what I would probably call, maybe erroneously, a panic attack, where you kind of get to this point, it's like, oh my gosh, what have I done? What's going to happen here? And the heartbeat starts going, the breathing starts going. Not quite that bad. I mean, it's not like I'm hyperventilating, but I mean, twice it's happened at night, where you kind of wake up and imagine your mind imagines some scenario, where it's not working out. And usually it involves my daughter, where she just can't adapt and she can't fit in. She's not happy in the United States, that kind of stuff. Or, I lose my new job because I'm going to be on probation for a year. I mean, I could lose maybe they won't want to keep me, or maybe during that period some budget strikes hit and they need to get rid of people. Guess who goes first? I mean, these things are real possibilities. It's a good job with great benefits, but I mean, I could lose it and be in that position. And so 3 times. First time was really bad. That was 2 days after I accepted the job, and I was up from like 1 a.m. until 4 a.m. just tossing, turning. I did have the phone in my hand. I was almost ready to text to my wife, who was awake in Japan at that time, say, hey, is it too late to back out? But I didn't. I held back. I got over it, and that's when I came up with the contingency plan that I've alluded to, but I haven't talked about. Maybe I'll talk about it another time, but it was my contingency plan that made me get back to sleep that night. Well, I mean, I'll just say it simply, the contingency plan was we just come back to Japan. That's all it is. If it doesn't work out in the States, you just come back here. We can do that. Start over again here. And the second time was when last Friday, when my boss told me that he's going to be doing interviews today. This is Tuesday. We're going to be interviewing candidates for my replacement and probably making a decision soon. And then I realized it's really over. I mean, this job that I've got, which is a honey of a job here in Japan, really nice job, is essentially, it's going to be gone probably this week. So that's when I had kind of a second. It was a lesser panic attack. That was a daytime attack. The third time was last night when I just, for some reason, woke up in the middle of the night, and none of them have been as bad as the first. And I just kind of woke up and I was thinking again about my daughter. What if she's just not happy there? What if she can't adapt? The culture is just too different, and all that kind of stuff. And that one kind of passed. I was up for about an hour and a half, 2 hours or so from that one. And so that's all. I just want to record that this is happening. And it's the kind of thing that has only happened really one other time in my life, and that was when I lost my business, and I was running out of money, and we had bills to pay, and I didn't have a job, and I was bleeding cash, and I could see the end, and I would lay there at night. That was bad. Oh man, that was bad. Lay there at night, and my wife sleeping there beside me, and I would stare at the ceiling in the dark there, and you could kind of have that pale, pasty look of the dark ceiling, and I would just look into that ceiling and ponder my failure and my because I had come from a lot. I had come from success to failure. How I'd lost everything, all the mistakes I'd made. Guessing, criticizing myself for all the bad choices that I made. And wondering what was going to happen to us, how we were going to get out of this, what was going to happen to my family. Oh, that was bad. Man, I mean, I know that relatively speaking, there are people out there who can't feed their kids, whose kids are dying today, right now, and who are in a more abject situation than I can imagine. But relatively speaking, what I was going through was minor. I mean, I'm safe in the first world. I'm not going to starve on the streets and stuff like that. I know those things, and I try to temper that. But for some reason, you can know something, but then your own situation, the reality of that, it's a tough thing. Like last night, when I was awake last night, and I kept telling myself my contingency. If it doesn't work out, we'll just come back. If it just doesn't work out, and the logical part of my mind was satisfied with that, but the other part of my mind said, no, I need to worry a little longer. Yeah, how about maybe another 45 minutes staring at the ceiling in the dark, and then you can go to sleep. So 3 times it's happened so far. I imagine it'll happen some more. I mean, I imagine probably it'll take a year until we get it settled in, before these things will finally fade, and maybe not even then. Who knows? Because you'll think about, what if we stayed? Oh, that's the consequences of such choices. So there we go. So please feel free to leave your suggestions if you like for how I can fix it. But just like I said, I'm not looking for help. I'm the kind of guy that if I was really in the wilderness, and I know that's not true. If I was really in the wilderness alone and I fell off a cliff and I broke my leg, I'd want some help, because I'm a family man, and I probably shouldn't have been there in the first place. But probably if not, especially when I was adventuring alone, before I had a family, before I was connected, I was willing then to die alone in the wilderness and not accept help. It's just a strange thing about me. I just love to be alone, and I want to stand on my own 2 feet, even though I know sometimes it's the stupidest thing to do. I don't want the maybe it's something to do with the consequences. Maybe I had some bad experiences as a youth with strings attached to help. I don't know. Something to think about. But anyway, I got to get to work. Take care, everybody. Thanks for listening to this. I thought I'd get this under 5 minutes, and here it is, almost 9. Take care. Bye-bye.